Dodge introduced their Ram lineup of pickups in 1981, but it wasn't until 1994 when they came out with an all-new second generation model that it went from being a niche player within the segment to becoming one of the class leaders. What we've got here today is a 1999 Ram 3500, which is part of that second generation that ran through the 2001 model year. Now, with the first generation of the Ram, there was definitely a small following of people that were very loyal to the truck, would say that it was a great work truck, very reliable, but overall sales were very low compared with the likes of Ford and GM. And overall, if you look at the package that you got with the first generation, it wasn't competitive with those other brands. On the styling front, it was very boxy, very awkward, very outdated. Likewise, the interior was very primitive, build quality was very poor, not a great level of standard options and features, and just overall, not a really competitive offering. Flash forward to 1994 and the introduction of the new second generation model, and suddenly that has completely changed. Ram goes from being this niche player to offering one of the premier options within the full-size truck segment. Now, the main thing that really changed with this second generation is on the styling front. It is a great looking truck. It is very rugged looking, very durable looking, very modern when compared with that first generation. And then likewise inside, we see a really nice refresh. Now, the thing that really stands out about the second generation of the Ram kind of became its design cue that's carried forward into future generations of the Ram is this redesigned front end, which kind of mimics a semi-truck. It's got a really big grille, and we've got the step-down fenders to the headlights. So it gives the truck this really beefy look. We actually see this kind of copied in the Ford heavy-duty series lineup of pickups starting in 1999, where again they've got those step-down fenders. So really great look that people ate up, and it does really give the truck a very heavy-duty, rugged appearance. Now you'll see that on the grille, it's all chrome, this wraparound. These little insets here were added aftermarket, and then of course we've got an aftermarket brush guard. You also see that down in the bumper, we've got fog lights that are integrated, and then some chrome insets in the bumper. The Ram was offered a number of different cab and bed configurations. They also offered the Ram in the 1500, 2500, or 3500 configuration, this being the most heavy-duty 3500 configuration. You could get in a regular cab or quad cab model. The quad cab was actually first introduced by Dodge, allowed the rear doors to have a suicide opening on both the driver and passenger side. The 3500 was only available in this 8-foot long bed, and then 2500 you could get in either a 6.5 or the 8-foot bed. And then of course this is the dually model, so we get the dual rear axle. You'll see with that we get a different wheel package as well. It does give the truck a really heavy-duty look. You also see up on the cab that we've got cab lights. Again, gives the truck that really rugged, durable look. And we've got some nice large tow mirrors as well. They've got little insets to help increase visibility. You'll see that we've also got some aftermarket running boards here. And then because this is the dually and it's got this fender that's sticking out wider, it's also got these lights on the side. Likewise, you'll see on the rear that we've got 3 more lights here, part of that dually model. See again on the back, we've got a chrome bumper. Just overall, really great looking truck. I'm a huge fan of every generation of the Ram pickup from this one going forward, but there's something really special about this second generation model. I think partly the fact that it really was kind of a truck that solidified Ram as a mainstream player within the segment, raising that bar. But it's also a truck that's really stood the test of time very well. You think about the fact that this came out in 1994, that's over 25 years ago, and it's still a great looking truck today. Definitely going down as a classic within this era, and you know, something really special about the overall design that you get with the second generation. Looking inside the Ram, you'll see it's got a really nice interior for this era, a very modern look to it, and again, a huge improvement over that first generation model. They did do a refresh in 1997, so this is the newer iteration of the second generation model. The Ram 3500 was also available in 2 trim packages. You could get either the base ST model or this Laramie SLT package. We get power windows, power door locks. Our driver's seat is partially powered with lumbar support. They did offer available leather seating, but you'll see that we've got cloth seats in this truck. On the steering wheel, we've got controls for cruise control. To the right of the steering column, we've got our climate control with heat and air conditioning. And then in our center dash, we've got our audio system, which had a single disc CD player and a 5-deck cassette player. Below that, we've got cigarette lighter, ashtray, 12-volt outlet, 2 cup holders, and we've got our 4-wheel drive shifter on the floor. Did have a 4 low and high option. Above here, we've got some storage space here, and then you can insert the key to turn off the passenger side airbag. Above, we've got a self-dimming rearview mirror, an LCD screen with trip information, fuel economy, and temperature readout. Compartment here for garage door opener, 2 reading lights, and a compartment for sunglasses. On this model, we've got middle seat here with a built-in console. This whole thing folds up and increases seating capacity in the truck to 6. And then to access the rear seat, we've got the quad cab model. So this driver's side door as well as the passenger side door open. And you'll see you've got seating for 3 more. And then by pulling this lever here, we can fold the seat up and you've got some storage space down below. The Ram 3500 was available in rear-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive and came with 3 different engine options. Base engine was a 5.9 liter 8-cylinder with 245 horsepower and 335 pound-feet of torque. They also offered an 8-liter V10 with 300 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque. This truck's got the 5.9 liter inline 6 Cummins turbo diesel, which has 215 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. Each of those engines is paired to either a 4-speed automatic or 5-speed manual transmission. On the Ram 3500, tow capacity maxes out at 9,300 pounds and payload goes up to 5,100 pounds. Now, I think there are 3 reasons in particular that I'm especially fond of this second generation of the Ram. The first one is the Cummins turbo diesel engine. Does that not sound awesome? It's got just such a good sound to it. If you got in a modern heavy-duty diesel truck today and you turned it on and you heard that, you'd be like, why is it so loud in here? But that was kind of expected in these older diesel pickups, and I think it's part of what makes this a really cool truck as an older classic in today's market. The other 2 reasons that I'm especially fond of this generation of the Ram is that the movie Twister came out back around 1994, and they had a Ram 1500 that was starred in that movie, and it just felt like that truck could do anything. It was the hero of the movie. So that really kind of solidified a special place to me. And then the third reason is that one of our really good family friends growing up, they had a Dodge Ram with the Cummins turbo diesel engine, and as a kid, they let me drive it up their driveway. And that was such a cool experience. Ever since, I've loved these trucks. I've loved the diesel engine. And it's really cool to be driving one of these Cummins turbo diesel Rams again today. Now, the overall driving experience in the Ram is pretty good, although we've got to keep in mind it's a 20-year-old truck, so I'm comparing it to other 20-year-old trucks. If you compare it to today's modern trucks, it's got some definite deficiencies. For starters, the steering has a very loose feel to it. You'll see that it's got a lot of play in it, and then as I'm driving down a straight road, it takes a lot of effort to just kind of keep it going in that straight line. You kind of find yourself doing this the whole time. Likewise, the brake feel is very loose, and you'll see that the cabin does have a lot of noise. Now, I love that Cummins turbo diesel engine. I like the fact that because this is an older truck, it's got that loud diesel engine. But really, if you think about it for that day-to-day use, the level of noise that you get inside of this cabin could get really old. Beyond that, though, it's a pretty good overall truck. I really do like the Cummins turbo diesel. It's got a lot of power for the era. Fuel economy is also really impressive. Despite the fact that this is a 3500, the readout up here is showing over 13 miles per gallon, which, yeah, that's not that amazing, but for a truck of this size, with this level of tow capacity, this much horsepower, it's not all that bad. Pull onto the highway here and give it a little quick acceleration test. It's not especially quick, but it's not especially slow either for a truck of this size. And you just gotta love the sound of that Cummins. So that's the second generation model of the Dodge Ram pickup. A really great package all around. It's amazing to see the transformation that Dodge made to the Ram going from 1993 to 1994. Great classic exterior styling, a class-leading interior for its era, a great list of engine options, especially fond of that Cummins turbo diesel. Of all trucks over all generations, there's something really special about this second generation. I'm a huge fan of Fords and Chevys and Toyotas, but there's something about the second generation Ram that really holds a special place to me. I think part of it is the fact that I was a huge fan of Twister as a kid, and then that family friend that let me drive theirs as a kid. I think there's something about this second generation that's going to continue to hold that special place for me for many years to come. I think it's a really solid truck overall and a great option for anybody that's looking to get into an older classic truck. If you have any comments or questions on the Ram, leave them in the section below. For more car and truck reviews, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.